All right, so moving on to our next topic, we're going to be talking about Chance the Rapper, the Chicago rapper. The other day, he made a tweet that kind of made the rounds on the internet, talking about or criticizing a two-party system. So, Franco, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so Chance the Rapper, it all started when he retweeted Kanye West. What Kanye West said, "In loving memory of my incredible mother," on her birthday, my mom, and she was reciting KRS-One lyrics, where KRS-One was giving a history lesson in his song "That's the Sound of the Police" about the origins of police officers. And then Chance the Rapper retweeted that, and he said, "And y'all out here trying to convince me vote for Biden, shaking my fucking head, since Joe Biden is the person who wrote the 1994 crime bill, and he played a key role in militarizing the police when he was in the Obama administration." So you can read the other stuff that he tweeted out, Bones.
Are we pro two-party system? I'm going to keep it real. A lot of you N-words is racist. Officer, 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 overseer. Are you more pro-Biden or anti-gay, and why? I get that you'll want to reply that you're just trying to get Trump out. But in this hypothetical scenario where you're replacing Trump, can someone explain why Joe Biden would be better? Finally, I got the answer now. I understand y'all trust Biden more than y'all trust Ye. I think I understand why, but I just don't feel the same way. I'm going to keep it real. A lot of you N-words is racist again. Oh, of course, I'm going to be part. And then this looks like it was a deleted tweet.
Yeah.
Page doesn't exist.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts here about this? I mean, Chance the Rapper, he realizes, it doesn't matter if we have Trump, it doesn't matter if we have Joe Biden. They're both going to be, continue to fund the police just the way that we're funding them right now. They're going to be patrolling the working class people so that, making sure they don't do any petty crimes, acting violent towards them. When they're not going after the elites, like how we talked about earlier, they're not going after these celebrities, these politicians who are committing these pedophilic acts. So what are your thoughts about Chance the Rapper? Pretty much what he's saying is, black people aren't owed the Democrats their vote. The black people don't have to vote Democrats. They're their own independent people. They can make up their own minds. They can do their own research. So I guess we can start with Brooks here. What are your thoughts, man?
I do agree with Chance saying that we don't have to be obligated to be with one party or not. We're all individuals as far as like our political beliefs go. At the end of the day, you have one party that disagrees with a lot of what we believe and one that panders to it, and it's up to everybody to see through that cloud and understand what really lines up with what they believe in. The Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, AOC, whoever it may be, they'll say you have to fund the police, do this, do that, but then they still take the money from corporations. They still do things that are against our own interests. Tucker Carlson from Fox, he grew up with a silver spoon, but he tells you that he's with you. He's a populist. You can't trust that guy like that. So see through the bullshit and make your own beliefs. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and Kanye's tweet there, that video that he was sharing of his mom reciting those KRS-One lyrics, that was raising consciousness to people about the origins of police. So Bones, what are your thoughts, man? I'm sure you trust Kanye West more than you do any politician, right?
Well, I mean, Kanye, he's been talking about, the prison system and, and about policing and things like that, especially on his New Slave song. Everyone's heard New Slaves. I didn't know half the things that he said in that song, right? That's him raising awareness to something that we didn't know about. After listening to that song, 10, 15, 20 times, I took it upon myself. I'm like, what is going on with the prisons? Like, I didn't know you can own a prison. I didn't know that you can use prison labor to create different products and stuff like that. And so then I started Googling that, And I was just like, oh my God, like, it's a prison system that's basically a new version of slavery, right? You're using people for labor and you're paying them almost nothing because they're in prison. They have no rights, right? Their freedom has been taken away. So now you have this individual who basically has nothing to defend themselves, and they're going to do whatever it takes to try to get out. So you're going to use them for free labor. And then you see all these products made in the USA, made in America, American made product. And half of those, or more than half of that, is products that were used or made in prison systems, right? So even though it was American made, the person that made that product is just as bad as the person that's making the Chinese products, right? Because you're paying the little Chinese boy in Shenzhen, China, to basically create all these Jordan sneakers and shit for pennies on the dollar. And they're over here doing the exact same thing with their American products. So I didn't know these things that Kanye literally said in his music, right? And not only that, but during that Yeezus tour, during that Yeezus album drop, I don't know if you guys remember, but he literally had projectors on these vans and he drove around to different cities. He had like a team of people drive around to all these different major cities and basically play those songs, play New Slaves, and then the image or the music video was plastered on Louis Vuitton stores. It was plastered on Gucci stores. It was plastered. It was he was here in DC. He started in Chicago. He did in Seattle. He did in LA. He did it in all these like cities around the country and even some parts of the world too. And he targeted only those super expensive luxury brands. And he was sending out a message, right? And he's playing this song talking about the prison system, talking about how people are there's a new form of slavery that we don't see, that we don't know that's going on. So, as a knowledgeable politician, there might be a better option out there. Somebody like a JFK type of person that does know what they're talking about, that studied law, that, has, all this experience dealing with politics and stuff like that. But at the same time, with Kanye, you know what you're getting, right? You know what he wants to do. You know his agenda. He's not hiding anything. Like he's an open book. Whatever you want to see, like you can find out about him, and he's not trying to hide it. That's not the case with half of these politicians, half of these pedophiles that are part of the same club, like the part of the Clinton club is like what I like to call them. They're all part of this like secret society, and they're like, okay, so now who's president next? Like we have them lined up. Like we already had Obama. Who's next now? Right? Like this has all been planned out. Like there's fraternities, right? There's fraternities at Harvard law schools. There's fraternities all over the country and all these prestigious ass schools that more than half, like maybe 10% or 5% of the country goes to, right? Because there's all super elite people that have lots of money that can afford to get in there. And most of them are legacy. Most of their parents went to the school, their father went to the school, whatever it is. And then to even be a part of the fraternity there, that's even a smaller percentage of people that are being able to get in there. That's where all the moves are made, right? That's where everyone is chosen. That's where like you see the Freemason signs and you see like the secret pictures of them doing all these weird satanic rituals. That's where it comes from. That's where like all these little like clubs that are in these prestigious schools, hardest place to ever get into, right? Hardest place to try to get an admission to a club like that.
And that secret society, it shouldn't be so secret, and it isn't. All you have to do, go to opensecrets.org, and then you will see who funds these politicians. If they get funded by the fossil fuel industry, the Wall Street, if they get funded by the pharmaceutical industry, then they're part of the establishment. They're part of that society. They're part of that club. It's a big club, and none of us are in it. The working class people are not in that.
I see. Pockets fat.
So, Pedro, what are your thoughts on Chance the Rapper and his tweets?
I mean, it's good to see him step out of the rapper bubble, because I feel like most people wouldn't expect a 2010 and beyond rapper to be speaking on too much political stuff outside of maybe a Kanye, Kendrick Lamar. You don't see too many rappers, at least in like mainstream rappers, right? You definitely got Killer Mike who spoke up on during the George Floyd thing. But as far as these kind of issues, you don't see too many popular rappers. And whether he's relevant now or not, he is a popular rapper. So it's interesting to see him speak that way and not be pro-Democrat like most other people probably would, especially in the rap game. It's just I like to see him take that stance. It's a genuine stance that he believes is something that people should think about, and not just be quick to just be like, fuck Trump, but let's just get Biden. He's trying to basically saying what you've been saying the whole time, and what we reiterate all the time is that don't just say fuck Trump, don't just vote Biden just to vote blue no matter what. You got to do your research and think of the why are you doing this and why are you not doing that.
Yeah, and how did we get Trump in the first place? It's because of the whole everything that was set up before him. This capitalism just exacerbated people's lives more and more, and it made people desperate enough to vote for a reality TV show host like Donald Trump, because he was promising to give them their jobs back. He was promising to get out of all these wars. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton was just offering more of the same of what Barack Obama did, which was more capitalism to benefit the 1%, all these corporations that pay all these politicians. And meanwhile, we get scraps. And during this pandemic, look at what we've gained. We've gained nothing. Like there's going to be 28 million people that are going to lose their homes after all this because of the CARES Act, which sent trillions of dollars to the corporations, to those CEOs. And meanwhile, to us, the people, we get 1,200 checks for just a one-time payment of a 1,200 check. What are we going to do for that with that money? We can barely pay rent for that in 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we could wrap up the Chance the Rapper segment. I definitely, for anybody that hasn't already seen that, go check out his tweets and look into it a little bit more. Think about what he said, and maybe it can help, when it comes time to go to the poll and decide what you really want to do there. So
yeah, neither Trump nor Biden are for defunding the police, and Chance the Rapper is aware of that.
And before we go off,
what guys are doing and what they are not doing, and if it benefits you or not. So moving on, we're going to be about
Brooks wants to say one last thing.
I want to say one more thing.
My bad. Go ahead. I didn't hear you. My bad, bro. Go.
I just think it's funny how Chance the Rapper, he did run a whole lot of what he said back after Terry Crews endorsed what he was saying.
What did Terry Crews say?
Terry Crews was like, he was just like, nah, Chance the Rapper isn't, he isn't acting crazy. He's just independently thinking. And then Chance the Rapper was like, oh, no, I regret everything that I just said because Terry Crews is endorsing me, and he's.
I not accept the Terry Crews endorsement. So can you tell us about that, Brooks? Why doesn't he accept the Terry? Why were people getting on Terry Crews? Because truthfully, I don't even know. I seen a lot of people calling him all types of coons, this, that, and the third. Why?
Because he's someone who believes that the BLM movement is a quote unquote black supremacist. It could possibly turn into a black supremacist thing, and he's just
incorrect.
He's really living that character that he lived in white girls. He's just,
he's embracing that character.
And he continues to show his ass. That's all.
He's too much of a method actor.
Yep.
Fuck no. No wonder Chance the Rapper is like, nope, I take it back.
Yep.
Damn, man, Terry Crews, bro, what the freak? Oh man. Anyway, we'll talk more about that one later. Does anybody have any final thoughts on Chance the Rapper's two-party standpoint?
No more two parties.
No more two parties.
It's one party, and it's a party of war. It's the party of capitalism.
Party of money, exactly.
If you liked the video, listen carefully. To the bottom right, there's a like button. Hit that. Further to the right is a red subscribe button. Hit that as well. And hit the bell for the notifications so you don't miss any of the latest in sports, pop culture, and progressive politics.